No one enters Ron's room without signing the guest book.
Ron is L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the controversial Church of Scientology and the central figure in Edward Marsh's multi-million-dollar science fiction collection.
Come right in.
Marsh keeps his collection here in what he calls the Marsh Library. It's a standalone building on his gated estate. Down the hall from Ron's room is the Golden Age of Science Fiction room. Here, Marsh has the complete signed works of authors like H.G. Wells, Frank Herbert, who wrote Dune, and Jules Verne.
These are all signed editions. I'm very proud of them.
Marsh has already given a rare Jules Verne novel to SDSU.
They have a book there now. There are only 2 copies known to exist. A Chinaman's Adventures. Phenomenal. Yeah, Julie Verne.
Marsh is 61 and retired from the real estate business. He's spent over 30 years building his collection of books, letters, pulp magazines, and film scripts. An initial appraisal puts the collection's worth at between $10 and $15 million. Marsh commissioned gold busts of many of the authors in his collection.
Its purpose is to keep out the bugs, the sunlight, and the dust.
He keeps each book in its own handcrafted, gold-embossed preservation box. There are hundreds of them.
I'm a snob. I actually don't read books that are not signed by author. But if you can't handle it, you can't enjoy it, why should you even have it? Eh?
The library is climate controlled. Marsh is a heavy smoker, but he uses smokeless cigarettes in the library and on airplanes.
The only way to fly.
Marsh admires each of the 50-some authors in his collection.
He was a sailor.
But his reverence for L. Ron Hubbard goes back to age 17, when Marsh joined the Church of Scientology. Marsh grew up in La Mesa. His dad was a well-to-do attorney, and his mother a socialite. They were skeptical of his newfound faith.
But when I told him it got me off the drugs I had been taking, and he went, oh my God. And Mom said, see, Ed, I told you. My father's name is Ed also. I said, yes, I know. I fibbed to you all these years. I'm sorry.
Today, Marsh has reached the highest levels of the church, which means he's paid for thousands of what the church calls auditing sessions, similar to counseling sessions.
As a young man, I was very troubled, extremely troubled. Today, I haven't an unhealthy care in the world.
It's almost an understatement to say Hubbard and the Church of Scientology are controversial. Both have been the subject of investigations and negative press going back to the 1950s.
We're about to enter what I call Ron's room, the L. Ron Hubbard room.
It was L. Ron Hubbard that inspired Marsh to begin collecting. Hubbard was a prolific science fiction writer, but it's his nonfiction work that is most well known, specifically the book Dianetics, in which Hubbard outlined the self-improvement techniques that form the basis of Scientology.
This, for example, is just one set of the Scientology books.
Also in Ron's room, a collection of e-meters dating back to the 1950s. Those are machines used in Scientology's auditing sessions to measure emotional states. The technology is similar to lie detectors.
If you look closely here, you'll see a needle. The needle moves when it's all in operation. And there are 28 different needle characteristics of an e-meter. One, for example, goes like this. That means I want out of here. I want out. Or I am out. My body's still here.
Marsh is still deciding where the remainder of his collection will go, but SDSU and the Church of Scientology are likely candidates.
Cyclo Pants.
The recent gift to San Diego State, worth $2.5 million, includes signed works by Ray Bradbury, George Orwell, and of course L. Ron Hubbard. In the meantime, Marsh is going to keep building his collection. There are still hundreds of boxes in his garage to sort through.
The collection is a big thing to me, though. It's been my hobby horse for 10 years, since I've had any money. And I've plowed it into paying off the mortgage and investing it in preserving what I consider to be important things.
Angela Carone, KPBS News.